Peggy.
Good morning, Michelle. How are you?
I am doing fabulous. How are you doing?
We're doing great. And I have Willie in my lap so he doesn't bark during the interview. So, Willie,
Come
say hello to
on.
everybody out there. Say hello,
Hi,
Miss Michelle.
Willie.
Say hello. Willie is
You're awesome.
our little 11, 12-year-old. So,
Little
yes,
12-year-old. Oh my goodness.
yes.
I have a Boston Terrier and
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, very needy. But we
Yes,
love him very much.
yes. Willie's needs to be in my lap so he can participate and enjoy the conversation.
Absolutely. So I am going to say good morning to everybody here. Let's see here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum.
Mm,
All right, perfect. Well, we only have 30 minutes, Peggy, so we have
okay.
a lot
Oh
to
my
get
goodness.
into because
Oh
you
my
have
goodness.
so much to tell us. I'm so
Oh my
excited.
goodness. For all these years, I was
All these
thinking of that
years.
yesterday and writing things down, thinking, my word. Yeah, I've lived a long time. Thank you, God. We're still here. Grateful,
You're exactly.
grateful.
So
Yes.
I'm going to start at your earlier days, like way
Okay.
early, and
Okay.
let's just dive into it. I'm going
All
to play a
right.
video here.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Here we go.
Let's see.
Can you hear it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Oh my goodness. It's Staten Island. Oh boy. Message from space. Ginger Rogers off Broadway. Frenchie in Greece, and there's John. Yes, I was flying.
Uh-oh. Okay, and so I stop right there because I have more that I want to get into.
Okay.
So let's talk about that.
Yes.
So you started at a young age, tap
Well,
dancing, and
in
tell
high
us about
school, oh
that.
yes,
Mhm.
I always danced since I was little. And then in
Okay.
high school, I went to St. Joseph Hill Academy, an all-girls Catholic school
Mhm.
on Staten Island, New York. And I did dance shows freshman, sophomore year. And then I got Kim McAfee in Bye Bye Birdie. And then I got Ella Peterson in Bells Are Ringing, which Judy Holliday did the movie and the Broadway show. And that was a great, great part. And I played Eileen in the musical version of My Sister Eileen, which was called Wonderful Town. So I got to do some great parts. I'm very grateful for Sister Antonia and Sister Raymond, who were instrumental in Sister Iman cast me when I was just a dancer and thinking I was just going to choreograph. And she said, I want you to audition. And I didn't have a song. And I sang my favorite things a cappella. And I got the part of Kim McAfee. And that was it.
Oh
And I
my
was very
goodness.
scared, and I wanted to quit. And my mother said, you got the part, you got to do it. And once I did it, I loved it.
Is
And
that right?
I kind of feel when I look back at things, you know how when you're in the midst of something, you don't realize it may be a little more divinely purposed than you realize. You're just going about
Mm-hmm.
doing it. And I
Mm-hmm.
look at it and I think, okay, this is just what I was set out to do. And I had to get that push from
Mm-hmm.
Sister Iman to say, no, I want you for the lead. And I auditioned, and that's been
That
what
was your
I've
push,
done
huh?
all my life.
Yeah. And you said that you were shy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. How did you get over that? Just by repetition and
Well, this is the thing. I was always good one-on-one with people, and when I'd be on stage, it was amazing. But then I was nominated, and I was president of the Drama Guild, so I had to get up and give speeches. But I could get up and perform in front of thousands of people. But when I had to do something like that, and over the years, of course, Senior America and my life, and I started doing
Mhm.
industrial shows and speaker training. But in the
Mhm.
beginning, I was very shy. Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
But when you prepare and you do the work and you're called to do this, then I was able to break forth and do it.
Wow. Yeah. That totally makes sense. And then so let's kind of transition into MASH. So before I show that clip,
All right.
tell us how they reached out to you and what was that all about?
All right. I'll go back after I was in New York and I did my first summer stock, which was Town and Country Playhouse in Salem, New Hampshire. And then from there, I got a call to do Ginger Rogers in the musical Valentine to Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, and that was amazing. And from there, I got great reviews from the New York Times, and then I got my agent, I got my manager, and then I did Once in a Lifetime at Arena Stage. I played Susan Lantony, Susan Walker in Once in a Lifetime, and Tom Moore, who I am forever grateful. And every time we see him, he was the director of Grease, but he directed Once in a Lifetime in Washington, D.C. And then eventually I got a call for Grease. And then I got cast as Frenchie in Grease. And I did.
So what was it like with John Travolta meeting him?
Well, you know what? It was quite amazing. I'm very, very grateful because I was so young. To be on Broadway was a dream come true. So at that age, to have it happen was quite amazing. And I have right here, just last year was the Grease 50th anniversary of when it opened on Broadway.
Fun.
And here's the book that was written. And I have 4 stories in it and 8 pictures of myself. Yes. And it's so awesome. I know. And here is my graduation picture. There I go from high school.
Isn't that fun?
Isn't that amazing? So anyway, I went on the national tour.
You look the same.
I will just say thank you. I will just say thank you. I don't know.
It's amazing.
But we were taught by the nuns, when someone gives you a compliment, you say thank you, whether you believe it or not. So I will just say thank you. I will just say thank you for that. So I did the national tour with Adrian Zmid for a year. And then I got to go open on Broadway, and I opened with Adrian, and then I got to do it with Peter Gallagher. I got to do it with Patrick Swayze. I got to do it. Treat Williams jobbed in, and John Travolta would job in. And that was such an amazing experience. It was a dream come true. It was one of the dreams of my life that came true at an early age. And then from there, I got an audition for this movie called Message from Space, and it was Japan's answer to Star Wars. So I went and did that for 5 months in Japan, and I got to do it with Philip Kasnoff, who was also an original greaser.
So you lived in Japan for 5 months?
Yes.
Wow.
I lived in Kyoto and Tokyo, and that's where we filmed A Message from Space. And it's interesting because Hiroyuki Sanada is he was, I think, 19 at the time. We were all young. Now he's a big movie star in Japan. So I did that. So then I was able to finish my Broadway run. And then I went out to LA. And what I got first in LA was Billy Liar, a pilot with Steve Guttenberg. Do you remember Steve Guttenberg?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. We saw him recently. Jeff and I, my husband, and I went to see him in his the Gutenberg Bible. He has a new show, one-man show. Actually, he has 3 peripheral comedians who are phenomenal around him. And we got to see him like 5 months ago in New Jersey, and now he's on tour. So that was our first pilot. And John Rich from All in the Family, he directed it. And he said to us, he said, "You too, are you ready to be big stars? If this pilot gets picked up, you're going to be big stars." It didn't get picked up. But Steve went on to do a lot of things in Hollywood, and I did some things. Well, anyway, so then after that, after that is when I had the audition for MASH. I had never seen MASH. I had never seen it. It ran for 7 years because I had been doing New York, and I had done some tours. I did Irene at Gateway Playhouse. I did Polly and the Boyfriend, Atlanta, Georgia. So I was just working. I didn't watch TV. So I had like 3 callbacks and then I called my friend Adrian Zmid, who did Grease with me. And I said, "Adrian, would you like to work on this with me? Because I'm up for like a 4th callback for this show." Now, this is really true. He says, "Peg, what show?" I said, "MASH." He said, "It's like the biggest show on TV." I had no idea. Is that wild? I think
that is wild.
That is really wild because I wasn't really intimidated. I was back taking acting classes. I was studying. So I went in, and I had I think 5 calls for that. They were very thorough, and I got that. And the first reading, now they had been doing the show for all these years. So when I walked in, I was the new, young New York actress. And they were all like, "Oh, let her sit next to Gary. Let us sit next to," I didn't know who anyone was but Harry Morgan, because we watched old movies with our family, my family.
Well, let's watch a clip really quick.
Okay. All right.
I'm Lieutenant Linda Nugent, the new nurse. Just tell me what to do and where to go.
You want to go out with me or not?
Yes. Well, how come you...
Hold on a minute. Is it going? Just a
Didn't
second.
say so before.
You never asked before. Radar, you don't have to impress me. I think you're nice when you're unimpressive. You think? Oh, Radar, you want to dance?
No, I don't think I'd better. You know my bad knee.
Radar, I'm a nurse. If anything happens, I can take care of you. Why is everyone watching us?
Oh, are they? Well, maybe it's just because I'm here with the prettiest girl in camp.
I think that's so awesome. So what was it like working with Alan Alda and Jamie Fair and
It,
and
it,
Walter Eugene?
it was amazing. It was amazing. The first
Because
reading,
you're new, and you said that you
I
don't
was
know these
new.
people. You're just
I
on
knew
on
no
set
one.
on set. Yeah.
Yeah, new one. And I was young. And when I walked in, they were all like, sit next to me. Oh, let her sit. No, I want to sit next to her. And then Alan Alda's like, boy, why does Radar get all the good ones? Oh, they were being so nice. So we did a
Oh.
general reading like we would for a stage play. So this was so interesting because they had done it all these years, and they were just my theory about this is they were all older when they got this show. And I did a few pilots that didn't sell. Like George Clooney, I think, did 9. So when you get a show that sells, that's doing so well, you work as a team. They were so grateful because they were actors. Actors know how to schlep. You get a job here, you don't get a job there. So they were such a team, and they worked such as a collaborative, just cohesive one piece working together, one pie, all working together. So when we were doing the reading, Gary Berghoff, he's like, "Oh, if I said that, she wouldn't go out with me. That's so stupid." And the writers were like, well, what would you say? So they were taking notes. They were taking notes. So then they went back, and the next day is when we started shooting. And the MASH set, started at 7 and ended at 7. It was one of those sets that doesn't always happen.
Wow.
You can go to 10:30 at night, you're going to 11 at night. They were 7 to 7, basically. Of course, I had to be there at 5 a.m. for makeup, but it was just, yeah. And the writers would go, okay, what would you do? They wrote it, they came in, and this is interesting. When I did Message from Space, the first scene I ever did on film was like 10 minutes, and I thought it was a rehearsal. And being a Catholic schoolgirl, you memorize everything, you got everything down. Kinji Fugasaku was the director. He did Tora Tora Tora. He was like the master there. So we shot it, and I thought it was rehearsal. They said, take, that's a keep. So I did one take for the first scene I ever did on film.
One take?
Yes, I looked at Vic Morrow, and I'm like, what? I didn't feel as comfortable. So Vic Morrow said to me, he did combat, and he was a big star then. He said, if you're not feeling good about it, just go, oh, you can make a little like, oh my gosh, do something. He told me, because they want to save money. So anyway, so when I got to the MASH set, Gary said to me, he said, okay, if you're not feeling good with something, give me a look. And I'll say, you know what? I want to do that again. Now, he was in a position to do that. So if ever I felt like I'd give him a look, we just connected immediately. He's like, you know what? Let's do that again.
That is amazing.
Yes,
that you had that support. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that episode was nominated for the Emmy that year for the best show. Yeah,
that is so amazing.
Hotlips is back in town. And the funny thing was, I always thought it won. I thought that year it was best. But I've gone to Grease reunions, and I looked it up, and I'm so glad I didn't tell everybody, because Mary Lou Henner, who is a greaser, she did Marty in Grease before I did it. She was in Taxi, and Taxi won that year over MASH. So, but that
if you're going up against Taxi, that's pretty good odds, because that was a good show as well.
So it was a wonderful experience in every way. They were just so easy. They were just such pros. And I was able to just do the work. It was so relaxing. There was no stress. It was just amazing.
Yeah. How did you approach embodying different roles on the stage and on the screen? And then do you have your favorite type of character that you like to play?
You know what? I thought you'd ask me that because people ask about that. I went from doing lots of theater and then just going into film and TV. And for me, it was really easy. I can be, because I did a lot of musical theater in my early days. So I was used to being big on stage. But then in real life, maybe having been shy prior, I could just be genuine and talk. You don't have to be big, you just have to be real. So it was a very easy transition for me.
Hmm.
Very easy
That's
transition. Yeah. Yeah.
that's great.
I didn't have to
And
bring
it,
it down. I just could be. And depends on the character. Some characters are much more gregarious and big. But this is interesting because when I walked on the set after they did me up in wardrobe, I came out and the director, Charles Dubin, he said, bring her back. Get most of that makeup off. Get the hair in a ponytail. Nope, she's too glamorous. That's not going to be believable. So they sent me back and they took the makeup off. They made me much more, I was just natural.
is that right?
They said
Now,
she had downplayed.
she has to be downplayed. That's
Yes.
great. Now, since you've graced numerous amounts of stage and movies, is there a particular moment in your career that you like reflect back on and you learned from,
Yes.
or maybe a mentor?
Well, I'm very grateful, as I said, for Sister Antonia and Sister Raymond and Tom Moore. I have lots of other people. Of course, my mom, so grateful for all of her support, my family. Um, you know what was a lesson that yesterday I reminisced, and I haven't really thought about it, but it was very instrumental. Okay. I was in LA, and this was after I did MASH. I did a movie of the week, The Seating of Sarah Burns, the first movie on artificial insemination, and I got called in to the detective school. Was a pilot that was shooting, so I auditioned, and then I got it. So I was sitting in ABC. I'm not going to give the person, the head executive, I'm not giving the name because I looked up and that person is still alive. And I was sitting there ready to go sign the contract for 13 episodes.
Mhm.
And somehow it was this big office building. And they came in and they said, go call your agent. I didn't have a cell phone then. So I was like, okay. So I went and called my agent. He said, come down to the office. And he said, you're not getting it.
Oh,
I'm gonna cry
wow.
now because I was like, what? He was not happy. Someone else got it. And I went home. I cried. I remember I was like fetal crying for 3 days because that was 13 episodes and it was a lot of
Wow.
money.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this personal word for me that God just gave me. It's Daniel 12:3. Those who are wise, the people of God, will shine as brightly as the sun's brilliance. And those who turn others to righteousness will glitter like stars forever.
Mm.
Not all about this. It's not all about this. Okay. So
So you had to pick yourself up off the floor.
yes, but
Mhm.
listen what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they did in 4 months, because I didn't know. I read it yesterday. They did in 4 months. They did the 13 episodes. And I don't know where it aired or how, if they did it, but they liked it enough. They wanted to shoot it again, a pilot. So guess what happened?
They called you.
They called me. They got rid of the one who did it. And they called me. And when I walked in to do it, I'll never forget this. The whole cast applauded. Yes.
Wow.
I did the pilot. I got paid a lot more because the agent
Mhm.
was really upset. And then nothing happened with it. That was it.
Carpet,
So I told my sister this yesterday. The lesson was, it's, that was devastating. I didn't make the big bucks, but I got to do it. And I got that word that for my whole life I've had. That word is, you know what? We're all in a journey and we all have successes and we all have disappointments and things that we can return. That wasn't a tragedy, but some people have tragedies. And are you going to turn the tragedies into triumphs? I should go, God, you can turn all things around and work them for good for those who love you and are called according to your purpose. So that's what I got from something that was so disappointing at the time. Oh, I cried for 3 days. I remember I was living in Brentwood in a lovely apartment with a roommate, and I cried for 3 days. But then it's like, okay, then I went on, and then I did Eight Is Enough, and then I had a breakup. I moved back with a guy, and I moved back to New York. It was time, though. I felt it was time to move back. Oh, no, I have to tell you what I did do. I was there. I auditioned for this show, Gotta Sing, Gotta Dance, and I think we have the poster, Gotta Sing, Gotta Dance, and my dear Pam Kovis, who was the choreographer, I got into it, and I did it with Callaway and the Nicholas brothers and Steve Allen off and on for 15 years. If you know the Nicholas brothers, here we go. The Nicholas brothers were, if you know Stormy Weather, the big dance duo that they slide down the stair in a split. Those were the Nicholas brothers. I did it with them, and then Callaway, and then when Callaway couldn't do it, Arthur Duncan. So even when I moved back to New York and I did 42nd Street, that's a picture of me doing 42nd Street, I got to do that show for 15 years off and on. I did Bob Hope's party in Palm Springs. They pick us up in the white limo, and I did Davis. I did Charlton Heston or Roosevelt Hotel. So I always kept up singing and dancing. That show really enabled. And then when I moved back to New York, I did 42nd Street. Then I met my husband doing applause at the Claridge Hotel in Atlantic City. My husband, Jeffrey Hastings Haber, is a fabulous actor, singer, dancer.
He's right there. I want to show a clip of him really quick.
Good. Get in here. Get in here.
Hi. Let's show it. We're running out of time, so I want to fast forward through and get this adorable. Hold on a minute. Where is it at? This is, go ahead and introduce
conversation.
Yeah, I'm going to pause that. Introduce your husband really quick while I find that clip.
That is Mr. Jeffrey Hastings Haberer. And yes, that clip was from Peg of My Heart, a show we wrote, directed with my sister Eileen and Michelle, my dear friend Michelle Risk, Eileen Lee Nelson, and Mickey Rooney and Jan Rooney came out to Branson, where we moved to, and they did the pilot with us in a snowstorm. Mickey Rooney and Jan, he's 89 years old, right? Got out of that snowstorm and 100%. Got here. So that's what that is.
So tell us, while I'm finding your guys' singing duo that I absolutely think it's adorable. So tell us the transition from New York to Staten to all the way over to Branson.
Okay, well, we lived in New York.
Our act is
Broadway.
From Broadway to Hollywood to Branson to Brooklyn to Branson. But we actually met in Atlantic City.
Yes.
Leave it at that. You go ahead.
Wow.
And we do original material. Jeff's mom, my mother-in-law, who passed away a few years ago, she wrote all these original beautiful songs, a la Gershwin, Cole Porter, Irving Berlin. So we do original songs in our act, and we do classics like Putting on the Ritz and Pennies from Heaven, Yankee Doodle Dandy. We sing, we tap dance. So we still do that all over. So we are always available, and we do a lot of veterans events, and we do a lot of senior places. We do wineries, we do little theaters, we do big theaters. So that's been a blessing that we can still, when you have your own act, then you don't have to kind of grovel.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And I learned that from doing the show, Gotta Sing, Gotta Dance. When we got married and found all his mother's material, I'm like, we got to do an act. We've got to do an act. And we've been really fortunate to be able to do that all these years. So we moved when we were in New York. Long story short.
How did you meet him? Like go back a little bit. How did you guys meet?
Do you want to come in, hon?
No, you.
We first day of rehearsal in Atlantic City, the Claridge Hotel, and I saw Jeff, and he's just amazing. And we were dance partners for most of the show. And over those years, we did many shows together. We played opposite in 42nd Street. And right now, we are doing a show, Mike and Mindy's Wild Weekend Jam, which we did at the Players Theater last year. We just did it 2 months ago at 54 Below. And we play husband and wife in this very, very touching show. Our son is a singer, and he's married. They've been married for 10 years and still trying to make it. And we're the couple, we're the parents that are the cheerleaders, you can do it. And then the other parents of our daughter-in-law are the naysayers. Just give it up, move to Jersey, get
Now,
a big
is this
home.
local? Where's this at?
Well, right now it's on hold. We did it 2 months ago, and they're waiting for it to reopen somewhere. They're working on producing it, and keep your eyes open. Mike and his Wild Weekend Jam. It's fabulous. And Bucky Hurd and Tim Lee from the Righteous Brothers wrote the music.
How fun.
And
Okay.
we did it off Broadway.
I love here's this.
And the big baboon one night in June, he married them, and very soon they went aboard their Abba-Dabba honeymoon. No cheating. Debbie Reynolds, 2 Weeks with Love. She was 17 years old. Her first Hollywood movie catapulted her to stardom.
Before Singing in the Rain.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, how about this one? I always depend upon the kindness of strangers.
Vivian Leigh, Streetcar Named Desire.
Who did it on Broadway?
Jessica Tanday.
Very
Hello.
Good.
Insanity runs in my family. It practically gallops.
Cary Grant, Arsenic and Old Lace, too easy. What do you think I am? Tell me something. Vice versa.
Born Yesterday. Billy.
Judy
Holiday.
I absolutely love that. And so you guys have been doing this together for a long time. How long have you been married?
20, going on 27 years.
27 years.
Yes, and we did adopt our little baby.
Yes, tell us about that really quick. I know that we're running out of time. Tell us about your wonderful daughter.
Okay, I'm just going to say this is one of our dearest friends, one of my first musical director off Broadway, and he wrote a book, and I have on page 77 a little story he wrote about me. But that's I wanted to put in for the people that were mentoring me most of my life.
Absolutely.
So that's my Bob Marks, my dear. Okay, our daughter. Long story short, Jeff's sister, my sister and brother-in-law were missionaries in Nepal. They were able to get children out of Nepal, and they had a baby, and they said, she needs a home. And they called us. We had just moved to Jersey to a house we thought we'd live in the rest of our lives. We adopted the little girl. And when she was 15 months, and long story short, we performed in Florida years prior, and someone said we belong in Branson. And after we adopted her, in 2 years, we just felt led to go visit Branson. We went to visit Branson, and we moved here when she was 4, and we raised her here, and she's phenomenal. She has been a dancer. She was Miss Missouri's Outstanding Teen, and she's now in med school. She went to University of Alabama in med school, and she's our gift from above. Helena is her name, and it means light. My mother's name is Helen Lee, and she was named after her grandma. Yes.
Hello. Oh, that's amazing. Yes. That's so amazing. Well, we will probably be over, but I want to end with your senior Miss America, and I think this is so neat. And then your inspiring speech. So
but I had a dream to be Miss Staten Island, New York, at 18 years old, and it meant the world to me. And I didn't win. And then at 19, I win and again, and my family was falling apart, and I thought this would be so wonderful. Everyone would be happy. And I didn't win. So I had to die to that dream, because it's never too late to dream a new dream, and it's never too late to live out an old one. Risk is the difference between assured mediocrity or possible greatness. Very is the acronym. Be yourself. You are fearfully, wonderfully, uniquely made. Don't compare and don't compete with anyone else. You just be uniquely who you are. E, enjoy yourself. These are moments that you want to cherish and take home fabulous memories. R, receive from one another. You can all learn and grow from each other and receive from your audience. The other R is respond to one another. Be generous with one another. And also respond to your fabulous audience. And Y is yell if you have to get your point across. I like coffee, I like tea. I'm Peggy Lee, and I'm 63. Yes! So I have been set free. See, we are timeless. Age does not play a significance. It's our experience.
Yes.
My husband created that acronym BERRY when we were doing speaker training. We've done motivational speaking around the world, and that is the BERRY chart.
That's amazing. And I just wanted I wanted to have that on our last note just because it was very inspirational speech and it touched me.
Yes.
So do you have any last words of wisdom or anything that you could leave us?
Yes. Well, you know what? In senior America, you have evening gown, you have interview, you have talent, and you have a philosophy. And I received this in a dream the night before I was to interview. I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to say? And it needed to be 35 seconds or less. I woke up at like 3:04 in the morning, and this is it. Why am I here today? Because it's never too late to dream a new dream, and it's never too late to live out an old one. It's never too late to begin again, and it's never too late to make a new friend. It's never too late to forgive, and it's never too late to fully live. It's never too late to love, because God is love, and love never fails. So never give up, because it's never, ever too late.
That's
For
wonderful.
all of us. That's for all.
Mwah! Thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming on my
Michelle.
show.
I had a
It was
wonderful
wonderful.
God bless you. Jeff, come say goodbye. And Willie,
Bye,
say
Jeff.
goodbye.
Bye, Willie. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. You're a wonderful tech man.
He was good. Yes, Jeff did a great job, and you didn't even bark. You need
You
a
did.
bath.
You need a what is it, a treat? Does he know what
That's
that
right.
word is?
Yes.
He needs a
Oh,
treat.
he gets burgers. He eats very well. He eats very well.
Spoiled.
He's
Spoiled.
he's loved.
He's
They
loved.
say I
Spoiled.
spoil him. I say I
Spoiled.
love.
That's
There you
right.
go.
All
He's
right.
our
Love you
boy.
guys.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
bless
God
you.
bless
Thank you
you.
so much.
All right,
Had a great
bye-bye.
time. Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye. I have to remember that.
Yeah,
He ends
she
it.
ends it.
Oh my
She doesn't
gosh.
wait for you to end it.
I
She's the
know it.
boss.
Why did I? Jeff, thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh boy. Thank you, God. Where's my phone? Yes, I want to call her right now and tell her she did a fabulous interview, and I knew I needed to get Bob in. Tom Moore, Bob, I needed to
What's that?
mentor someone like Pamela Covis.
Yeah, Bob
God,
has been-
Bob, Pam
Bob is-
Covis, Tom, Sister Antonia, Sister Iman, my
Oh, that's
mom,
good.
my
You have a
family,
good list.
you.
You have a good list. No, you didn't give me. You didn't give me.
Yes,
That's
I
fine.
did. My husband. I said my no early years we were talking about, and then I said my fabulous husband.
No,
You came in.
but the point is, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's.
Oh, no.
Sometimes it's.
Oh
you
no.
say that stuff is obligatory.
No,
But
but
yeah,
I
at
did
that
you hear?
point, you did not say it.
Yeah,
But it's
that
fine.
part I didn't. But
No,
then
you
when
don't-
I
you don't
hadn't
need
met
to.
you yet. I hadn't met you yet. That
Oh,
was
but
not
that's-
you.
that's matter.
But then I said my fabulous husband, and I said he's a fabulous actor, singer, dancer. Didn't say actor studio.
No, you said mention Actor Studio. You
No,
didn't say you were in Actor Studio.
No,
You said
not.
you said we're Actor Studio people.
That
Remember?
was not on camera. That was not
Oh,
on camera.
okay. Well,